Hello there guys and welcome to yet another video. Today I want to be doing another one of these sort of blogish videos where I just show gameplay of some cool footage and I speak over it, giving you guys some of the news. Now a lot of news have went down ever since I made my last video, so I wanted to cover them all, and I'm going to use this to show off some more of the stronghold footage that I have in reserve. I will also be putting up more footage soon, but I wanted to put out this video before E3, which is actually tomorrow, Tuesday. So look forward to that. ArenaNet's gonna be there. In case you didn't already know that, I'm hoping you did. It's kind of late news by this point, but here it is. First of all, I want to cover really quickly the wallet changes. ArenaNet announced that they're going to do wallet changes. It's not going to be no longer in that grid format. It's going to be more in a list format. So if you've ever been through like the Explorer of your computer, looking through your folders or your directories, you can change the way that it looks. I imagine it's going to look a little bit more like if you were to change it from icons to list. That's probably the idea that they're going for. It's supposedly going to make it easier to add new currencies, and they did announce that they will be adding some currencies into the wallet. They announced Bandit Crest, Geodes, Pristine Ractal Relics, and World versus World claim tickets. Also, it should look aesthetically better rather than filling up like a whole screen with a bunch of currencies and really big icons. It should be a little list, very not so much very thin, but kind of thin to the point where it looks good. Just these little aesthetic changes. Also, the Alliance arc is getting reworked. That's supposedly coming out on June 23rd. I just read about that on Reddit. There was a leak, and if I can, I'll post the picture up there. Remember when they asked us for the survey? They surveyed us asking what we would like the Lions Arc places to be renamed to. Well, they did take it into consideration, and here's some of them. Uh, the Cannel Ward's going to get renamed into the Commodore's Quarter. Lighthouse is going to get renamed into Phoenix's Roost. Lions Court is going to remain as the Lions Court. The air base is going to be the Lions Arc Aerodome, and the memorial will be now known as the Field of the Fallen. I really like these names. Most of these I actually voted for. I think I actually voted to change the Lions Court. I don't really remember, but I'm overall happy with it because they look really, they sound really cool, and hopefully the new Lions Arc will be really cool. Okay, so on other news, ArenaNet announced incoming condition changes. It looks really nice for PvE. I don't know how it's going to work out in PvP. I don't think it's going to affect PvP. I mean, getting up to 25 stacks of any condition in PvP is damn near impossible, except for like maybe bleeding if you're a warrior and the person's standing still, maybe. Just maybe even then, I don't think it's feasible. But as far as PvE goes, apparently increasing the cap to ridiculously high levels where you won't really notice it. What this means is that the stacks will probably be dropping off by the time that you hit the cap on the boss. So getting up to, let's say, 700 stacks of bleeding, by the time that you're like near 600, 650, the stacks are probably going to start dropping off and you're going to be having to reapply them. And that's the whole idea that they're trying to get through, so to balance conditions. It looks really cool. They did specifically mention that vulnerability might not be getting that big of a cap because 700 stacks or some ridiculous number of stacks of vulnerability would really make the boss just die, and it might just make things unbalanced, and they're keeping balancing as a big thing here. Okay, so this means that one of two things is going to happen. Either conditions are going to do less damage in PvE to accommodate for it, or they're going to allow they're going to allow the bosses to die faster and not mind it too much. What I mean is basically the way that bosses are dying now is being capped at 25 stacks of vulnerability, 25 stacks of bleeding, 25 stacks of oh my god. Well, in the future, 25 stacks of poison, stuff like that. But now what's going to happen is that these are gonna go up way higher, way up to like 250, something ridiculous like that, 190. You know, maybe even the 700s. They did mention a really ridiculously high number like that. So bosses, more specifically world bosses, are gonna have to be accommodated for all of the extra damage that's gonna be being pumped into them. Basically, it's gonna be kind of ridiculous if they just leave the current boss's health bars. Except this time they're going up to like 700 stacks of bleeding, 700 stacks of bleeding, and 500 stacks of poison, something like that, something crazy like that. Maybe 100 stacks of vulnerability. Kind of break the current bosses that we have right now. So ArenaNet really does have a lot on their plate as far as thinking these things through. Okay, so that's as far as it goes for condition damage and the changes. I want to talk more about specializations. Core specializations have been announced, guys, and this is really big news, especially for PvPers, because what this means basically is that we're not going to be able to fill up 3 trait lines. We're going to be able to fill up 3 trait lines, which could lead to some balancing changes at the start, but hopefully they'll all be balanced out and it'll be thought through by the end of, who knows, by the time Heart of Thorn hits, and they got to balance even more of the core of the specializations that they're bringing in with each and every profession. But anyways, for PvP, what this means though is that either a lot of builds are going to be more viable, or a lot of builds are going to be kicked out of viability because of the strength of some other builds. What I'm trying to say is, maybe right now, Dagger Pistol Thief is really viable because it takes out really squishy targets, but with the new changes, it basically allows us to fill up 3 trait lines. So who knows, maybe some of the squishy targets that thieves prey on, or maybe backcapping, won't be as good for thieves. Stuff like that. Brawling won't be as good for guardians or warriors or elementals, mostly because of other classes interacting with them, is what I'm trying to say. The way that these classes interact is basically what defines the meta. So now ArenaNet really does have a lot on their plate before Heart of Thorn hits, in which they will also get a lot of their plate because of not just the new Revenant class, which is a whole nother profession, but also the changes to the professions, the changes to each and every profession, which is their specializations. They got to balance all of those, and the new boons, taunt, all of that sort of good jazz. For PvP, they got a lot to balance, and for PvE, I'm sure they do as well. They probably are pretty busy. At E3, let me talk about E3 for a second. E3 tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, a PC exclusive. There's going to be a PC exclusive kind of. There's going to be a lot of PC news. Now, us as PC fans, are going to be seeing some of the biggest companies, some of the biggest producers out there announcing some of their games. Mostly, what's important to us though is ArenaNet's going to be there talking about guild halls and hopefully releasing some more information on so what they're planning for Heart of Thorns and sort of bosses and encounters like that. I think that is their big chance to pull out a super cool world boss and basically wow the crowd with their boss mechanics, or rating, or something similar, something to that standard, some big party thing that makes you want to go, wow, I want to go play that with my friends. Like, that's ridiculous, that's amazing. you know so this is their big chance. Other PC developers that I'm looking out for, mostly it's just Blizzard Entertainment. I'm hoping that they announce Overwatch. Really excited for Overwatch. Kind of want to see how that goes. Also, Legacy of the Void, probably gonna get some announcements right there. But let's stick to ArenaNet. ArenaNet really can make the show at E3. They should take this opportunity to talk about more than just guild halls. Unless, guild halls could be something like super huge, like basically just enormously explosive. They could also speak about Stronghold, which is, already being balanced pretty well. It's already a thing. It's already there. It's you can play it and it'll work. That's like their big chance at doing something. So yeah, guys, that has been it. That has been it for this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you're thinking. I also did want to announce a little bit about what's going on with me. I'm gonna be going back to World of Warcraft. I think I'm gonna be dropping a couple of games, and I'm basically just gonna be on two games, which is gonna be WoW and Guild Wars mostly. Guild Wars is probably gonna remain my main game. I really enjoy it so much more. But I'm gonna go play with friends on other games. It's just Pug doesn't tend to have one sole game that we play. We kind of just spread out over the masses. Also, Pug will be making a YouTube channel soon, and we are planning on doing videos on exactly just that. Let's plays of different games of us playing together, basically just having a good time interacting with people. If I'm not mistaken, we're covering Marvel Heroes and Civilization 5 for our first two videos. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Alright. Hopefully you guys will stick with us and we'll see what's coming up in the future. I'm really excited for E3, guys. Really hope I'm not disappointed by guild halls. Hopefully it'll be awesome. We can only hope, right? Yeah, I mean, I really hope that it's awesome. Tomorrow at E3, we'll see what ArenaNet has planned for the future, since this is probably going to be like one of the biggest audiences that they'll have. I really hope they know this and that they have planned accordingly. Okay, guys, like always, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much for watching. Remember to drop down a comment, leave whatever you feel was your opinion on the video. Talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.